AscendTMS, the world's #1 rated TMS software. Missed our live training or just don't have time to watch them during the day? Don't worry, we have the full training by one of our product specialists recorded for you to watch anytime you need it. So grab the popcorn, sit back, and enjoy the full admin and utilities training.
I'm going to try not to take up too much of your time. I know everybody is super busy, so we are going to go ahead and get started. So the goal of this training is to go over your settings field here, and also we're going to go over some of these utilities on the left-hand side. Now, if you're an administrator, you have this tab. If you are a standard user or have any other permission groups, you will not have access to this tab. It's for admins only. You won't even see this tab here. That will be hidden from you if you are not an administrator, okay? So first thing we're going to go over is company settings, edit your company contact info. So if we click here, this page probably looks familiar to you. This is the first page you see when you sign up for an Ascend account. Some people skip this. If you did skip filling out this information, we suggest that you go back and you fill this out because this is what's going to show on your document. You can upload your company logo from here. And then under here, we've got our freight broker features and our carrier features, which you can keep enabled or you can disable them. Under your freight broker features, if you disable it, your carriers tab on the left-hand side here is going to be hidden. If you disable your carrier features, then your asset tab on the left-hand side here will be hidden. You can keep them both enabled. It's not going to hurt anything, but it's completely up to you. Next, we have edit your company insurance coverage. This is a placeholder where you can put any of your insurance information, any type of coverage, so that you just have access to it. Edit your drop-down list. Now, all of these drop-down lists in here are customizable. All the pages work the same, so I'm just going to go over a few of them. Now, when you signed up, these lists came with some canned information, and you can go in and change it or add to it if you'd like. So the first one we're going to go over is commodity. So in here, like I said, all those pages work the same. If there's any in here that you want to change, you just have to click into that box and you can type whatever you'd like. You have these 3 lines here. Anytime you see these 3 lines in Ascend, that is a drag and reorder feature. So if you'd like to change how they're listed, and that red X is where you can delete any of them. You can also add your own by clicking on add new value, and you come down here. It'll be your new value here, and you can type in whatever you'd like and add to it. Okay. Load statuses. So in here, again, add new value, click into any of the boxes. You've got that drag and reorder and the delete feature. All of that's in here. With load statuses, you can also color code your load statuses. So what's nice about that is, like, for example, I've got watch almost in this reddish color. If I've got something in watch, I want that to stand out on my screen, and you can do that by doing this color code. For example, the watch status, if I put a load in watch, that means there's something wrong with it. It's broken down, it's running late, there's a problem. So I want that to stand out on my board, which is why I choose the reddish color. You can do that with any of your load statuses. Also with load statuses, you have active, planning, ready for accounting, and miscellaneous. So you can group these load statuses into these tabs. This comes into play on your load management screen. You see here where we have active, planning, ready for accounting, and miscellaneous. So your active loads would probably be like an in-transit, dispatched, pick-on way, those type of things. Planning would probably be needs appointment, needs carrier, something like that. So it's up to you. If you'd like to group them, you can. If you don't want to, you don't have to. You can just live in the all loads tab, and that's going to be all the loads that you have built from the time you've built them to the time you're ready to send them to accounting. All right, another one I like to point out is pay items. So anything that you are going to be putting in your income and expense line items, you would put here. It can be tolls, it can be lumpers, it can be pallet fees, whatever it is. You can add them in here. Okay. And then you've got your truck length, truck status, and truck type. Again, all those pages work the same. You can add in them as much as you want, as little, or change whatever information is already there. All right, upload your company logo. This is just one more spot where you can do that. That's what's going to show up on your documents. Again, you can do it there, or you can do it under your edit your company contact info. Customize the default currency and units of measure for your location. Ascend is used all over the world. So in here is where you can put in what currency you're using, your weight, your distance, and your temperature. Configure your alerts. So this is for two different parts of Ascend. First one is the Ascend portal. So you can invite your carriers into your Ascend portal. From there, you can tender them loads. They can accept or reject them. They can request accessorials, appointment changes. Any of that stuff can be done within the portal. So what this alerting system would be like, you would get an alert if a carrier accepted the tender. You could set up a rule that you get an alert if they declined a tender, if they requested accessorials, that type of stuff. So that's where you would set this alerting up. Also, this is an alerting system for EDI. EDI is the electronic data interchange. So if you have any of your larger customers like Walmarts or Targets of the world, those usually all of them use EDI. If you do have a customer that's interested, please let us know. We'll get you in touch with the EDI specialist that we have on staff, and they'll help you set these up. But these alerts would also be like if you were tendered a load from your customer via EDI, if they revise the load via EDI, you would get these alerts, and our specialist will help you set that up. Okay. So next is configure your default routing options. We use PTV miles. So in here, you can put in what you'd like. You can put in your zone, basically. If you want the shortest route, the fastest route, you want to avoid tolls, you want to avoid ferries. And when you build a load, it will take these rules into account and route your truck so that it avoids or does however you would like to put this in. Automated workflow engine. This is exactly what it sounds like. It's an automated workflow engine, and it works like business rules. If this, then that. There's a ton of different rules in here. So when you have time, definitely come in here and check these out and see if any of these are going to work for you. Just kind of helps you, save some steps. There's a couple like this one. Let's say restrict a carrier from being assigned to a load if they are marked do not load. So we have a couple options. If you have marked a carrier do not load, and one of your users tries to add that carrier to a load, you can do two things. You can display a warning message to review the carrier, but still allow that carrier to be assigned to the load, or you can block and not allow that carrier to be assigned to the loaded aisle and display an error message. So they'll basically get a big banner across their screen that says, whoops, this carrier cannot be added because they are marked do not load, contact your system administrator. So there's quite a few things you can do in here. Definitely check it out when you've got time. Edit driver pay settings. If you are asset-based and you're going to be using our driver payroll, this is where you're going to set up your cadence, your scheduled pay items, deduction items, all of that. If you have any questions on driver pay, you can always contact us directly, and we can always set up a call to go over it one-on-one, the payroll and all of that. Next, we've got report and document settings. So when you build a load and Ascend, we create all of your documents for you, carrier confirmation, invoice, BOLs, customer confirmations, all of those. In here, if you have terms and conditions, all of these work the same. You can come in here, you can type in whatever terms and conditions that you want to print on those documents. And you can also put in your footer, and that will print out on those. Load management, customize your load management screens. This is just one more spot where you can get to that drop-down list that we already went over. It's just one more spot where you can get to it. Edit your starting load number. If you, we always suggest, especially if you're in your first 30 days, to come into Ascend and build as many loads as possible. Get really used to the system. When you're ready to go live, you can always change your starting load number. Just remember, it has to be larger than the last load number you built, and you cannot go backwards. Okay, so if you made it 9 digits, there's no way you're going back to 7. So just keep that in mind if you decide to change your starting load number. Okay. If you are in Ascend right now and you're usually in trial, you probably have sample data. It looks like, especially the no load numbers, I know there's like asterisks next to them. If you no longer want to see that sample data, just click on hide sample data and it will go away. We've got our business center. We do have affiliations with legal services, a driver payroll service, an accounting and tax service. So if you need to outsource anything, we do have partnerships with them. I think they give a discount if you're an Ascend user. I don't know how much it is. I don't know how much their services cost, but if you do need them, go ahead and just reach out. If you click on any of these, it'll give you their the way to contact them. User and branch department management, add or edit users. This is my test account, so it's very colorful. There's a lot going on here. But this is where you can come in, you can add new users, you can highlight a user and edit them, you can remove them. You can keep track of what permissions they have and what branches they belong to in here as well, okay? Add or edit branches. So you have the ability to create branches in Ascend. Branches are great for like if you have maybe other locations and you only want them to be able to view the things that they're responsible for. If you have sales agents that are bringing in their book of business and they don't want to share their customer list with all the other users, or they're bringing in, you know, new customers that they don't want to share with anybody, you can create branches. Now, everybody is part of the shared branch. So whatever gets put in the shared branch, everybody has access to. So you have the ability to change, you either can keep them in shared or user choice. So like right here, I have my customers and my locations in user choice, but I have my carriers in shared. So we're all grabbing from the same pool of carriers, so it doesn't matter if everybody can see them. When it comes down to the user choice stuff, so if I go to customer and I go to add a customer, it's going to ask me what branch do I want that customer to belong to. So I have the ability to do that. And then only the people that are assigned to that branch are going to have access to those branches. If you are an admin and you are creating branches, make sure you add yourself to every single branch. So for example, if I go to, let's just say him, you want to make sure every branch is a part of your profile, because that way you can hold those users accountable. You can run reports on their information, that sort of stuff. Okay. Add or edit permission groups. As an administrator, you have all the permissions and your permission group is locked. Okay. When you signed up, we also gave you accounting and standard. You can come in here and tweak those as to whatever permissions you want them to have or not. You can also create as many different permission groups as you want. When you come in here, you can name it whatever you'd like, and you can either start from scratch and go through every single one of these and decide which ones you want them to have access to and which ones you don't. Or you can go ahead and just copy one of the ones that are already created and then tweak it to whatever you'd like. Add or edit roles. You have the ability to create roles in Ascend. So in here, you can put in a percentage, you can add as many as you'd like, whether it be dispatch agent, sales agent, whatever it is. Name it whatever you'd like, and then you have non-commissionable or commissionable roles. If you choose commissionable, you can choose a percentage of the gross profit, percentage of the gross revenue, or flat rate per load, okay? Once you've done that, you can then assign those roles to your users, okay? So right here, Rick is an agent. Whenever he gets assigned to a load, he's going to get 20% of that gross profit. You can also assign these roles and users to entities. So let's say it doesn't matter who builds the load or, you know, puts a truck on it. I'm the one that brought Cisco in. They're my customer. So every time Cisco is added to a load, I'm going to get 10% of that gross profit. So that's one thing that you can do there. Premium features and billing details. Adjust company plan and available features. Your screen is going to look a little different than mine. I believe you have the ability here to add a credit card. I don't have that ability in my test account, but also in here, you can compare the plan and features. So if I hit show here, we do have two versions of Ascend. One is our basic free version, and then one is our premium. If you ever wanted to come in here and figure out what each one has, we have this nice little checklist. Okay, add or edit load source settings. We are integrated with 123 load board posting and searching, CH Robinson, LoadSmart, TQL, TruckSmarter, TruckStop posting and searching, Uber Freight, DAT posting, searching, and review, Trucker Path, Nextload, and Trucker Tools. If you would like to connect to any of these to post or search, you can come in here and each one has its own set of instructions on how to connect them. For example, I always point out DAT because that seems to be our most popular. If you wanted to connect your DAT subscription to Ascend, so that way you're not going through two different tabs on your computer, you can come in here. You're going to call your 800 number here, DAT, and you're going to ask them to turn on your connections flag. Once your connections flag is turned on, DAT should send you an email with a login and a password. What you currently log into DAT with, or what you currently log into Ascend with, is not what you are going to use to connect the two accounts. So make sure they send you that email. Then you would come in here, put that information in here, hit connect, and you should be able to start posting and searching for loads in Ascend right away. Okay. Add or edit factoring settings. We are currently integrated with Triumph, Denim, Loves, Phoenix, TAB, and a bunch of other ones. So if you are factoring through any of these, you just come in here, connect, and then you're going to be able to factor all your invoices and supporting documents straight to your factoring portal and be funded right through Ascend. Okay. Add or edit carrier payment settings. We are integrated with Triumph Pay. They work like a line of credit. They pay your carriers and then you pay them back. Add or edit load tracking settings. We are integrated with TransFlow, Motive, and ForkHeights. If you are going to connect to any of these, we have great videos and articles that will walk you through every step to get them all connected, mapped out, all of that. So check those out in our Learn tab, which I will point out at the end of training. Add or edit your carrier onboarding monitoring settings. So we are currently integrated with My Carrier Packets and RMIS. We will be bringing on a third one, Highway. I don't have a timeline yet, but that will also be an option in here. So if you wanted to come in, if you get a subscription with My Carrier or RMIS, you're able to link the two and then onboard your carriers straight into Ascend with their documents, their updated insurance, their safety ratings, all of that. Okay, and then we have our Ascend portal settings. If you are a broker and you're interested in the portal, these are some of the rules that you would need to set up as well. If you do want to check it out, if you go right here to the knowledge base, there's a great little video right here that kind of goes back and forth, how it works, what your carrier sees, all of that. So if you're interested, I'd check out that little video when you have time. All right, a few of the utilities I like to point out. The first one is this search feature. This is a universal search. If you have a load in here, a reference number you're looking for, a location, a carrier, or a customer profile that you're looking for, you can come in here and type it in, and it's going to show you the profile in here. So let's just say, if I could type, let's see here. There we go. So it's going to pull up my locations, my customer, all of that, because I already have those profiles in here. This is also linked to the FMCSA website. So you can do carrier verification and fraud alert checks by searching DOT, MC, MX, or FF numbers and selecting the carrier verification search result. Also for brokers, 3PLs, and freight forwarders, you can search MC, MX, FF numbers, and it will return a credit check search result when available. What's also nice is if you do type in the MC, DOT, or whatnot, and it pulls that information, you can actually create the carrier profile or customer profile. You'll get two buttons right here with those choices. It pulls that information in and auto-populates it for you, which is really nice. We have our dashboard here. So right here, you've got the current fuel index. This is pulled from the EIA. This is just a snapshot. If you'd like a bigger view, you can click here and it's going to redirect you to the U.S. Energy Information Administration. We've got latest features. Up here, we've got our top 10 lanes. If you wanted to look, you've got several options to choose from: date ranges, lane type, all of that. And then it will show you your top 10 here with percentages and anything you'd like to see right there. We have current picks and drops. So what's nice is I can look at today's and I can look at tomorrow's. Right now I just have the one. If I want to view my pickups or my deliveries, so this one, for instance, is delivering today. If I click on this, it's going to take me into my load management screen and show me all the loads that are supposed to be delivering today. So I just get this short list, filtered out list, and then I can just check on those trucks, which is nice. Let's see, you get a financial quick look by 7 days, 30, 90 year to date. If you click here, you also, whatever loads pertain to that particular 7 days, and these are rolling days. You're going to see this list here. You can also go to the reporting details, but I'm going to show you the report in just a few minutes. So that's also nice. You have spot market rates. This comes over by DAT trend lines. You also have your top 10 customers in here. And you can go, you have several different options to choose from and date ranges here. Okay. All right. You also have the Ascend tracker. You can go to the Ascend tracker where this isn't actually linked to any loads. So for example, if you also just wanted to see how the tracker works, and it is via text message, I also suggest this, and I might be crazy, but I've been in this business a long time, and I can tell you plenty of times where drivers had called me up interested in a load, and they told me, oh yeah, I can be there in an hour and a half. And then I find out their location is really actually 4 hours away. You can actually check by just putting in your driver's phone number. And I'm just going to put here, and I'm going to go ahead and send myself a message. All right. You can see that the message has been sent. I just got a text message. And then if I go to my text messages and I click on this link, if it wants to work for me today, let's see, maybe not. Let's try this again. There we go. Okay, and I'm just going to put under an hour away. And you can see right here that my message just came through that says I'm under an hour away. And then you can see here, hold on, that I'm in our office in Brandon, Florida. So it's nice. Okay, that was the dashboard. A couple other things I like to point out. Doc management is one of them. Under doc management, you have your doc processing. This is where you can upload your documents, and then you can process them by like attaching them to a customer, a carrier, a load, a location if you want. Uploading documents is super easy. Click on upload. I can drag and pull over a document if I wanted to. I can select a document. So I'm just going to select a simple screenshot. We're going to open that up. This I can attach, or I can just upload it and leave it here. Your document type, you have all different kinds to choose from. You also can set them as like company documents, so everybody has access to them. Like maybe you have your own carrier packet or customer packet. You put it in here, mark it as a company document. Every time you bring on a new carrier or customer, your users can just come over here to doc processing, find it, and send it out. Uploading super quick. It's at 100% already. And then you can see it here. You can preview it, you can download it, you can email it, you can delete it. So here we go. You can view it here as well. And again, attach it from here if you wanted to. You also have doc management. So if you've uploaded any document, you can search for it. You can search by what it might be attached to, the document type, the date range that you think you might have put it up, uploaded it in, process it, unprocess it. Search for only company documents because that's the way you label them. You can do all of that. I'm just going to go ahead and put in, let's see if anything comes up on that one. Maybe I just need to do, there we go. And then you get a list of the documents here for whatever parameters you put in, okay? We've got reporting, load reports. This is a very dynamic load reporting tool. You can put in several different search terms if you want to. Load entities, so you can pull up like a customer history, location, carrier, user roles, branches. You can do a lot in here. You can also customize these reports. So right now, like it defaults to show these columns, but if I wanted any of these columns to show up on that report, I can add it. I'm going to go ahead and just run one of my regular, regular reports. Go ahead and just do this date range. I'm going to put in, let's say Cisco, Houston. I'm pretty sure I have some loads there. I'm going to go live and archived, and I'm going to search. Okay, and once you search, whatever parameters you put in, you're going to get your list of loads that were part of that report. You are going to get a summary of your revenue, your expenses, and your gross profit. You can export just this summary, and then you can also export this entire list of loads. You can even email this report on a schedule. Maybe you have, you customized a report, you saved it, and now you want to see it once a week, an updated version of that. You can do that. You can email it to yourself. You can email it to other people, other users. You can also email it to outside sources. Maybe your customer wants it for whatever reason, and you want to show them this list of loads that they've done for you. You can do that as well. Under reporting, you also have commissions. So in here, if you are paying anybody commissions, any of your users can come in here and see any commissions that they've been marked paid for. They can only see their own commissions, unless you have given them specific permission to view other users' commissions. Okay, so in here, you can narrow it down by roles, users, statuses, invoice statuses. I know a lot of my users won't mark commissions paid until they've been paid by their commission. So that's one thing you can put in here. I'm going to just narrow it down, let's say to Frank. So they can come in here, check it out and say, oh, okay, look, I'm getting, however much this is for that date range. And then they can export a paid commissions report into a PDF to keep track of what they're getting paid on. We also have IFTA reporting. If you're asset-based, this is where you can come in. I'm going to start with the settings. So in here, it does automatically default to the current quarter that you're in. If you need to go back further, you just come in here and hit the calendar. You can import fuel card purchases if you are using EFS Fleet One or COM data. And then you can also enter them in manually. So I'm going to show you how to do it manually. This is how you would import. You would just click on which one you are doing and then follow the instructions. Let's go to the report. And in here, you can group the loads by driver's name, power unit, or trailer number. And you can sort the loads by load number, states traversed, driver's number or name, power unit number, total distance, and created date. If I came in here, I could go ahead and click on, let's just go ahead and click on this load. You can see we already calculate the distance for you. If you need to change it, you can. And let's say we bought 100 gallons in Oklahoma. I'm going to put in my 100 gallons. I'm going to put special diesel. And if I go back to the list and I scroll down to Oklahoma, you're going to see where we put the 100 gallons in there. And then you can export the entire IFTA report into an Excel spreadsheet. Okay. We have lane reports. If you wanted to come in here and search like what lanes do I have coming out of Tampa and radius search, you can do all of that. So I'm going to go ahead and just put Atlanta, because I know I've got some loads that have come out of there. And I'm just going to leave destination and I'm going to search my lane history. So you can do your radius here, like any lane within 100 miles of Atlanta. And right here, I'm going to get my top 20 carriers for any of my loads that have come out of Atlanta. You get your average rate per mile, your max, your minimum, your average gross profit percentage, all of that's in here. And then you can export a CSV report with the carrier contact details. So if you wanted to reach out to them to, see if they're interested in some loads, that's a easy way to do it. Okay, let's see. I also like to point out our messaging. So in here, we have an internal messaging system. So if you have other users, you can come in here, you can see if they're green here, that means they're available. And you can send them like, hey, I just saw Bob called. Is everything all right with the truck? That sort of thing. Super quick. And then they will see that they've gotten a little message here. You also get that same kind of view right up here. You also would get like any of those messages from your EDI or your carrier portal. They would show up here as well. Like if somebody accepted or rejected or whatnot, you would get that here. I also like to point out the Learn tab. This is our knowledge base. We have videos and articles on just about every aspect of Ascend. So if you had any questions, come in here, check it out. We also have these trainings recorded if you wanted to come and look at those. If for whatever reason you came in here and the article or video did not answer your questions, you can contact support. We try to answer all of our tickets as quickly as possible. You can also call us. Our number is 813-681-5000, and option 2 will get you to support.
AscendTMS, the logistics software for everyone. Make sure you're staying up to date with the latest marketing and how-to videos by clicking that subscribe button. That way, you're the first to know.